Creative Confidence for Silver Sisters. What is this all about? Well, as women, so much of our lives are spent creating for others, caring, giving, supporting. But what happens when we finally turn that creative energy inward? In today's video, you're going to find out. This is where creative confidence begins, not with perfection, but with permission. Yes, permission to play, to reinvent, and to rediscover who we are through things we make. So, what are we going to make today, you might be asking? Well, I will show you here in a moment. So, welcome back, Silver Sisters, to Markets of Sunshine. I'm Marcia, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Today, we're talking about how handcrafting, whether it's slow stitching, sewing, or simply creating with your hands, can help you rebuild self-esteem and find joy after 45. So here are some just close-ups of what I've been playing with today and on my craft table, and we're going to make them together. I'm going to show you just what they are and how to make them. So if you've been feeling a little lost or like your creative spark has dimmed, this video is your gentle reminder. It's never too late to create something beautiful inside and out. So let's get started together. What is this whole creative confidence for Silver Sisters going to do for you today? Well, in this project, we're going to be making things that are going to make you feel more confident with your gift giving and with your dinner party hosting and just plain gift giving fun. So I came up with several ideas of what these would be great for. I got the little spark for today's video from a journal book plate that I had made. And then I said, okay, yes, I like that idea, because we can combine slow stitching with paper crafting and handmade gifts all rolled into one in a simple little project. And I'm going to try to keep this video under 45 minutes. And so I have these sweet little ones that I've made already. I'm just going to go through them real quickly and so that you can see what I've done, just with fabric, lace, a 3x5 index card, some fiber, and a vintage button, and my sewing machine, and glue. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need are a couple of 3x5 cards, and we're going to start off with folding those in half, and then folding that in half and cutting those down to the size that you see mine. And these make the perfect little size to either just write a name on it, a name and a date, an occasion, a table number, a book title, whatever it is that you decide that you want to do with it. So you can use these as table place settings. You can use them on a gift package as a little tag, the gift tag. You can punch a hole in the corner and tie a ribbon to it, or you can actually glue it, or you could make a little pocket on the front and just tuck this in the pocket so that they can use it on something else. And I've come up with another really cool idea for these that I will be sharing with you in an upcoming video in our new series that I'm doing with my friend on Icky Chic Designs. And I encourage you all to join us for this 12-week collaborative series here for 2025, and to subscribe to both of our channels. You can click on her link in the description below, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And we would love it for you to use our new hashtag Stitch Sisters in any of your comments, any of your videos, any of your social media posts about any of the projects that you've seen Lynda and I do here on our YouTube channels. So thank you very much for tuning in and joining me today, and I hope that you will have a lot of creative ideas after you watch my 12 videos and her 12 videos. So that gives you 24 new creative projects and ideas and for the rest of 2025. So I know that you're going to get a lot of joy and benefit from the videos. So if you missed the first video, then go back and look in the playlist, and I'm keeping the picture on my YouTube series the same, and I'm just changing out the image of the project for that week, and but I'm using the same colors, close to the same colors. I'm playing around with it a little bit. Today's was a little bit different, so that's easier for you to keep up with the series. But it will be titled on that image week 1 of 12, week 2 of 12, week 3 of 12, etc. And as part of my series, which I had announced it in the first video, that I will be doing, continuing my giveaway for this 12-week series, and probably if it goes very, very well with participation, I will continue it into 2026 with what we have in store for you. Now, in order to take part in this series, now I had offered that I was going to make a second Daphne's Diary journal and put that in the giveaway for October. So the September one I did, but we had a little bit of a snafu with the postal service due to circumstances out of anybody's control, and so the Canadian mail did not make it here to the U.S., and they've just now solved the problem. So I made a phone call today to the magazine delivery company, and they assured me that yes, everything was back into working order, and that my magazines have been shipped and they have made their little way to the U.S., where nobody knows yet because they don't have tracking once it leaves Canada. So there will not be an October Daphne's Diary Junk Journal giveaway. There will be a giveaway, and what I'm going to be doing instead is I am going to be giving away a $5 off coupon to be used in my Etsy shop, Markets of Sunshine, and it is to be used solely for the new Sunshine Stitch Letter Club product that I launched just this week, that I debuted. And then everyone who purchases that can use the $5 off coupon. And like I said, it's just for that listing. And you will be receiving one of these adorable handmade little nameplates in with that order as my extra little thank you gift for helping me get the word out about my new Sunshine Stitch Letter Club. And I know you're going to enjoy it highly, and it was so exciting and so much fun for me to make it for you. Okay, so, and I have already made 5, as you can see. So I'm just going to make a few of these with you on camera because I don't want the video to go too long, like I said. And we just lose all track of time when we're making things. And so I have found out that I can only make a few on camera, otherwise the video winds up being too long for me to be able, I don't have enough storage on my phone for it to upload. So I'm just going to make 2 more with you all. And I just picked random paper, a little bit thicker than scrapbook paper, a little less thick than cardstock. This is actually, I love this paper from Stampin' Up! And these are papers that are no longer current. They retire their papers every season, I believe it is. So anyway, this was a paper pad, not from Stampin' Up!, but anyway, this consistency is what I was going for. So, and this is a perfect way to use up those scrap pieces of fabric. And any cardstocks and things like that too that you don't want. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can leave an extra edge around it so that you can fold it over, or if you want it to be just a, you know, very fun, scrappy, and that's what I like, look, then you can go all the way to the edge. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then you can either glue this or you can stitch it on the machine, which is what I'm going to do because I love the look that the sewing machine gives it. That extra, I don't know, special feel to the whole thing. Now you can use your pinking shears if you want to give it a cuter kind of a decorative edge, like this one edge here was. Or you can just use straight scissors and trim it down. That's what I'm doing. So I'm putting 1 layer of fabric, and then I'm putting a piece of lace on top of that, and then the book, the 3x5 card, the actually writing space, goes on top of that. And I'm using a thinner lace, and you can use whatever size, cut it to whatever size you want. I just decided to fill it in with across the whole top of the fabric. And then I'm taking the 3x5 name card and I put that on top of that, and then I take it to my sewing machine and sew the 3 layers. But the first thing I do is sew the lace and the fabric to the card, and then I come back and stitch the paper to that. So I'm going to go ahead and just stitch these right now with you all. There's the lace stitched to the fabric and the cardstock. And then now I'm going to stitch the little name onto here. And I'm going to keep in mind that I'm going to put a piece of the fiber. So I'm just going to center this because I want to be able to have space to glue the button. Because when I did these, like some of these were way up at the top of the corner, I had to come in on some. This one, that one worked out. This one was fine. And this one, but the other 2 were a little bit close. Okay, hold on just a second. Now that the weather has changed here in Florida, gotta have lots of tissues nearby. sinuses are going crazy. It's like, what is going on? What happened to all of our warm weather? Which I'm absolutely loving this change in our weather. It's beautiful. Okay, there's that one. And then I'm thinking, I was hoping I could get enough of this one. So I think I'm going to try to turn it around like that. And then I've got, there we go. That's good. All right. Perfect. So any of you purple lovers, if you purchase the little sunshine stitch letters, then I will put one of these in for you. I know two, I'm thinking of two right now that love purple. So if you would like to be a recipient, actually I'm thinking of three. Not going to name you out, but I know you know who you are. And you know that I know that you know who you are. Already thinking of you. Okay, so stitch the lace to the fabric first, Marcia. Don't get ahead of yourself. I know, I tend to do that. Okay. Get this over here. Thank you. Wonderful way to use up your scraps, I'm telling you. Perfect way. We're having a family dinner this week, and so I am going to make these for our little table place settings, our little name tags. My daughter did that for our tea parties. I miss my tea parties. I can't drink tea anymore. But I love it when I have them over and friends over, and then everybody else can drink tea and I just sit there drinking my water. And this is a special occasion because we're going to be exchanging gifts because they went on their trip to Maine, and so they brought back all kinds of goodies, and I'm making a delicious dinner. Okay, now last put on this, and then I will put on the little fiber trim that is absolutely the icing, and the cherry on top is the button. Okie dokie. There we go. I will make the others later. Set these aside here. These out of the way. All right, now let's take a look here. What do I have? Okay. All right, so I would like this here. And I stitched this on the machine to hold it in place now that I turned it off. I forgot I did that. Okay, and then this one is going to go here. Perfect. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to bring this down closer to the corner of there so that I have this available for the button. And I'm using a zigzag stitch. There you go. Holds that right where I want it. Same thing here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit just so that I know I've got plenty of room for the button. And you can definitely sew this by hand, or you can glue it, whatever is easiest for you. And I just like to trim this up a little bit. Make my own eyelash trim out of the threads. Okay, and then I want to put buttons. Okay. Use this one. See, do I have any more of that color left? Or that size, because these other ones are a little bit bigger. I think that just looks, I don't know. I guess that could be okay. Let's go with this one. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then this, last but not least, all we have to do is put a dab of glue, and I definitely put a lot. And then what I do is I put wax paper over the top, and then I place a couple of things on it to hold it down, to weigh it in place. As you can see, that's it. Quick and easy, just like a little bunny. Not hard project to do at all, and how much fun this has been. Quick and easy for us to make, quick and easy for you to gift, and it just uses up our scraps, so we have so much enjoyment with that because we're not wasting things. So that's what's the beautiful thing about this whole thing. So when we take time to create with our hands, something shifts inside of us. The world slows down and we begin to see ourselves not by what we've lost, but by what we're still capable of creating. So, creative confidence doesn't come from doing it all perfectly. It comes from showing up for yourself, one small stitch, one tiny project, one quiet moment at a time. So I would love for you to join Lynda and I next Wednesday for our week 3 theme, which is embracing the unfinished. So you will have to come back and find out what that's all about. So we would love for you to also use the hashtag, I mentioned it before, Stitch Sisters, in your comments and when you share it on social media. And we look so much forward to seeing your creative projects. So, and until next time, we would love to have you. So keep stitching, keep exploring, keep believing in the women you're becoming. And in next week's video, we'll talk more about this unfinished project idea, something every creative woman faces. All right, so thank you for joining me today. Keep stitching happily in the sunshine. Bye-bye.